En parlant de kidnapping américain, bon tout annoncer nous que blanc dit l'a vinn retirer moun yo lui-même. L'a vinn prendre moun yo Jean Nouvelé. OK? L'a vinn prendre moun yo Jean Nouvelé. L'a vinn prendre moun yo Jean Nouvelé. OK? L'a vinn prendre moun li yo Jean Nouvelé. OK? Blanc décidé vinn prendre moun yo Jean Nouvelé. D'accord? Ça veut dire que Jean nous décidé à Jean Nouvelé à la vinn prendre. Et d'ailleurs Biden clair monsieur décidé lui-même pour venir retirer moun li yo là. Et il y a des dispositions qui déjà prennent dans ce sens. D'accord? Ça veut dire que c'est clair.
Just to follow up on your comments on Haiti, you spoke generally, but there are 16 Americans who are still being held hostage there by one of the gangs. I know this is a law enforcement matter, but what is this building specifically doing to help free the Americans? What urgency do you feel on this issue, and what does it say about the security situation?
So I personally give an update on this issue every single day to the president, who is taking a deep interest in making sure we get every single one of those people home safely. The main thrust of our effort thus far has been to deploy a significant number of law enforcement specialists and hostage recovery specialists to work closely both with the ministry, the families, and the Haitian government to try to coordinate and organize a recovery. We are looking at every possible option for how to go about doing that. And I will be sensitive to what is obviously a delicate situation, not say more here, other than we have put the assets and resources in play that we believe can help bring this to a successful conclusion. But these things operate and have operated in Haiti historically on different timetables, under different circumstances, and so we need to manage this situation as carefully as possible so that at the end of the day we achieve our objective, which is the safe return of every single one of those, both adults and children. And the children aspect of this is something obviously the president is quite focused on to make sure they're taken care of and that they get home okay. It's going to take one more.
Oui, nous t'avons dit que changement yo continué et dans niveau la police là. Et Delin Boyer qui c'est commissaire Delma. Faut me dire Delin Boyer c'est une équipe en pile résultat tout dans la commune Delma. Et malheureusement nouveau commissaire qui monté là, il tout monté avec un assassinat puisque tout à l'heure là dans Fragnoville et bon avant petit marché Wilson jeudi et yo fait tout le monde là gon monde aussi mais cartouche sous lui qui mourit par balle moi quoi cadavre là jusqu'à présent toujours à terre dans zone Eudorville. Ça veut dire que c'est Fragnoville 11 quoi ou bien 10 pas songer combien lié et moun ça li à terre
zone Caprice Market là.
Oui, en face Caprice même et devant Caprice même moun a tombé. Ça veut dire que Nèg Yo dérapé. OK? Nèg Yo dérapé. C'est premier et commissaire Delma a fait face à ça. Et puis Jean Mzounan nous parlait avec monsieur G9 Yo et m'espérer incessamment gagner des réponses qui baillent sur question et même Jean Montes même beaucoup annoncé que
demain
et demain si Dieu veut moun yo ka reprendre toute activité yo mais j'aime dit non c'est pas grève là vrai qui problème là c'est parce que moun yo pas ka joindre et gaz pour capable rouler ça très important et m'a dit moun yo que gagner et gagner gaz qui dans toa là gain gaz là et
m'a prendre une quantité écrive encore je dis
oui moi demander pour qui ça pour commencer en bas commencer par exemple dans zone Carrefour zone sud là zone ça qui ça empêcher que commencer bail
je dis la gonne 240 barils qui arrivé là il y a 160 000 barils diesel et 80 000 barils gasoline Alors, cap privé demain à 2h, dans Port-au-Prince. Et pas dans cap privé
Qui
demain.
bon la privé dans Tevasa, parce que comme tout employé Tevasa, yo déjà tout prêt là. Il y a tant que zone dans.
Combien de terminal il y a Port-au-Prince?
Il y a 3.
Il y a Vareux,
il y a Tor, et puis il y a côté Michel Cléria dans Matissan 4.
Mais c'est 4 liés.
C'est 3.
Toland, c'est Tevasa?
Non, Tevasa c'est Meuse.
OK,
c'est Vareux.
C'était Soleil.
Oui, justement, Belécou.
Et Tor, c'est Kafou.
Tor, c'est Kafou.
OK.
Et puis il y a Matissan 4 qui c'est pas Michel Cléria.
OK.
Pas Michel Cléria par exemple, c'est deux temps que moi gagne seulement. Mais en tout dit dans le temps, tu gagné un tout par exemple dans Formont, dans Sud, dans celui du Sud, tu gagné un tout dans Cap-Haïti.
Oui, Cap-Haïti.
Tu gagné des terminales là. Même qu'on est en pile monde dans Sud, a réfléchi sur un terminal qui t'a dû fait dans port Bédumel là, cap permettre que gaz là, il tout vide dans Sud tout. Faut commencer à réfléchir pour que nous pas concentrer tout ça gain dans Port-au-Prince là. OK? Et ça très important. Faut commencer à réfléchir sur ça. OK? Et je pense que nous avons fait effort pour que nous soyons capables de garder question ça. Gain possibilité pour une bonne nouvelle, mais c'est bral après pause là. Si la nouvelle est bonne, m'a content annoncer nous et m'a permettre que publiquement que mon parler de question ça avec nous. OK? Mais moi même j'aime dire là et moi pas gain force âme, moi gain force micro. Et je ne peux pas en aucun cas.
Several times a week, as you know. I will say that, as the president has said before, he has concerns about the power of social media platforms to and the lack of progress in addressing issues like vaccine disinformation and election disinformation. And I know there's been a range of reports out there about what he's looking to see and who's representing his interests. Here's the truth. If people are representing his interests at any of these social media platforms, they do more to crack down on vaccine disinformation, on election disinformation. And he's talked about his support in the past for reforms to Section 230. That remains his position. And obviously seeing not just the testimony, but some of the revelations that have come to light is a reminder of the needs for some of these reforms. Go ahead.
Jen, just to quickly follow up on the climate question.
Yeah.
One thing that we've reported is a methane fee on oil and gas producers. How much of a setback is that for you and your overall methane and climate goals?
Well, I know that some spokespeople from Leaders on the Hill have conveyed that it was still a part of the discussion and negotiations, so I would point you to that.
So it is, from your perspective.
I would point you to leaders and members on the Hill who have spoken to this recently.
Okay. And what's your message to people like Representative Jayapal, who said that they want to see both of these things, the infrastructure, the broader Build Back Better bill, voted on at the same time? Is that something that you're okay with if that means pushing things out a couple weeks?
We'll leave the mechanics to Speaker Pelosi and Leader Schumer. Obviously, the president continues to want to get both pieces of legislation done. We are in regular touch with Congresswoman Jayapal, who we've been working with through every stage of this process. Go ahead.
Following up on this climate question, you just listed these historic investments, grants, loans, tax credits, manufacturing credits, you said, but environmentalists are pretty vocal about this. They say you need penalties in order to get industries to make these major conversions that they need to make. So how do you get to these 2030 goals, focusing on incentives?
Well, I would note that there have been also outside experts who have provided analysis that says that there are a range of ways to reach our goals, to reach the bold, ambitious climate goals that the president has outlined, including a number of the steps that I have outlined here.
You're talking about the Rhodium Group. They say there are a lot of ifs. They say all must act, that you need Congress in order to do this. You don't have Congress right now on a lot of these.
We are working with Congress on a historic investment in addressing the climate crisis, the largest by many times in history. So that is what we're working toward. Jen, go ahead.
I was wondering if you could walk us through what happened with Turkey over the last couple of days. There was this threat to expel our ambassador. Then we issued the statement confirming our compliance with the Vienna Convention. And so I'm wondering, should that statement be read as us in any way retreating from the letter that we put out that sort of kickstarted this whole thing, that said that the continued detention of that philanthropist there was a shadow over, respect for democracy and rule of law?
It should not be seen through that light in any way. Obviously, we continue to speak out about the detainment of activists, of journalists, of individuals around the world, including in Turkey. And we also raise issues privately and publicly where we have concerns, as we have in this case. Turkey remains a NATO ally, a country that we will continue to work with on a range of joint shared interests moving forward.
A number of issues, this, but also on defense contracts with Turkey. Is there any plan for the president to meet with President Erdogan at these upcoming summits?
We have space, as I think Ed noted, in the schedule, which we're working to finalize for additional bilateral meetings. As you know, he met with his Turkish counterpart when he was in June on his first foreign trip, but I don't have anything to predict quite yet, and hopefully with each day that follows, we'll have more. For those of you who are on the plane, we're going to do another gaggle with Jake on the plane on the way there. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm wondering what more you can tell us about the president's visit with the Pope, and Jake had deferred to you on Ed's question about press access. So can you guarantee press access for that meeting with the Pope?
What I can assure you of is that we are working through every lever we have to advocate for access for the press pool and for press when the president visits the Vatican. We believe in the value of the free press. We believe in the value of ensuring you have access to the president's trips and his visits overseas. So I don't have an update for you. We are going on a visit. It is not a host here, so I can't offer you a guarantee, but I can guarantee you we will continue to advocate.
And one more on Saudi Arabia as well. This weekend, 60 Minutes interviewed exiled Saudi ex-intelligence official Dr. Saad al-Jabri. Former acting CIA Director Michael Morrell has said that the information relayed by Dr. Saad has saved American lives. So first, what does the U.S. and the intelligence community owe Dr. Saad for the lives he has helped to save? And his children are being currently imprisoned in Saudi Arabia.